crowd here. I wanted to talk to you about our Right Size for You program. It was specifically geared and designed for seniors, such as yourself. It came as the result of many years of experience with our senior clientele, Mark's clients and our clients as well, and sometimes it came from experience with family members as well. So some of the features that we include in our Right Size for You program is for every client and every file, we have 2 realtors working. So you have a personalized level of service, and there's always somebody there to answer your questions. We have documents explained in plain language. Many of you haven't sold a home for 20, 30 years. The current agreement of purchase and sale is somewhere around 8 tiny little lines of contract. We will explain all those documents to you line by line. We also have them in large font. More for me, thank you so much. We also have, for each step of the process, an outlined, formalized step care program. It sits on your fridge or sits on your desk, and for each stage in the selling process, there is an outline of anywhere from 5 to 8 steps. So we check them off as we go through. Yes, we've done this, the sign is up, all the way down to the end of the process, which we've called, are we done yet? Because there are things that you have to be aware of at the end of the process as well. So we try to be comprehensive and let you know every fine detail that's included. Also, we have ongoing communication with all family members or friends who are involved. Many of you might have sons, daughters, granddaughters helping you out in the transaction. It's important to communicate with them as well as it is to communicate with you on an ongoing basis. Most times it's on a daily basis. We give you progress reports, we'll give your daughter a progress report, give her a calendar perhaps, so she knows when the critical dates of open houses are, what the appointment schedules have been like. Our ongoing communication, one will talk a little bit more about that. We have somewhat a sophisticated system for dealing with that. So we are designed, and our program works for right-sizing seniors. The other thing that we do consider at Stone Mill is the fact that there might be health or mobility issues that affect the sale of your home. For instance, we're not going to book appointments at 9:30 in the evening. We're not going to expect you to get out of your home at an hour to 2 hours notice. There may be open houses, there may be not. That might be a consideration that we need to discuss and tailor the program specifically to you. The other challenge people often have is, should I sell my home before I have moved on or after I've actually moved? Tanya has a great program for making that transition smooth, but it might be something that you need to discuss, whether you should put the home up before or after. The other thing that we do take great care and consideration is to notify and discuss with other realtors who are participating in your sale what special considerations there may be. Often, realtors may expect you to negotiate and sign back a deal within an hour, 2 hours. We make it clear that our clients might have special considerations, that they might want to talk to daughters, sons, anybody about their current transaction, even a lawyer review. So we do make people aware that we are working for our clients and we are working the way they want us to work. So I'm going to introduce my colleague Ron James, and he's going to give you a little bit more in-depth detail to the Right Size for You program.
Thanks, Ron. Well, thank you. Wow, what a group. There's no seats in the house left there. I mean, even the bank's standing. And they never stand. Well, yes, to reiterate this, I want to thank Mark Shabbat. He actually posed this challenge about 30 months ago about the issues that he had with his clients and their mobility related to right-sizing or downsizing. And was able to take up the challenge. My colleague Aaron and I sat down and kind of penned a proposal that we thought would be able to help people that were in this transitioning time frame, especially as it related to real estate, which can be a no holds barred, 2 sets of teeth type of process. And Mark blessed it with some revision, and then about 4 months later was able to provide us with a client that we were able to successfully help them get their house on the market and have it sold to their comfort level and price point very quickly. So we knew we had a winner at that point. Subsequently, from then on, we've now worked with about a dozen of Mark's clients, that have had an interest in getting their house sold to move on to the next part of it. Each of the steps, each of the processes, each client that we've worked with, we've had a serious debrief with how can we improve the client experience. How do we, as the real estate people, appreciate where the clients are coming from, the feedback that they've given to Mark, Mark's feedback to us as to what he felt needed to be done in the process. So this has it's come a long way from 30 months ago. So what you're seeing is that we did a presentation for Mark about 24 months ago, similar to this, and we went through a process at length. And I should tell you that there is a website that has that video, so we did videotape that. You don't need to write it down right now, we'll make sure that we'll get it out to you in an email. But it is retirementhomeburlington.ca, and it has a lot of information. It has the PowerPoint presentation that we did a couple of months, 2 years ago, and it actually has a video of us actually educating you on that process. So we talked about these particular partners, the pre-home inspection, why it's critical. We talked about home staging, home stagging back at the time, and handyman and appraisal services and auctioneers, etc. But we only had a concept. We didn't have a real face. So we felt that in this particular case, what would make it more powerful was to actually bring our partners to the table, and that's what you're seeing around the room here. So when we finished our talking head portion of this, you'll get a chance to meet the partners that we work with on a regular basis that help us help you. Okay, so Aaron had introduced the online portal system. Mark basically had said that he wanted something that would be a central point of contact so that he could be up to date. He could kind of ride shotgun or be our shadow during the sale process. There's lots of little pieces. There's lots of information to understand. There's lots of miscommunication that can happen because people have misread cues or emails or an exchange that we've had related to the sale of a property. So Mark has commissioned us to say, give me something better. So we have developed for each of Mark's clients an online portal system. That means Mark can log in from his desktop and see what Aaron and I are doing or our team is doing with any of his clients. We can actually expand that to anybody that is a partner. So if there is a remote family member that needs to be involved, etc., they can also get this information and from the comfort of their computer kind of watch what we're doing. And that includes all exchanges, all showings, open houses, documentation, etc. So we thought that we would have something that would make it really easy to keep the legacy of the entire process and to have some dialogue if it's needed and when. The calendar will be shown on that. It's quite simple to use. It's not a very arduous process. As soon as you kind of log on, you'll say, oh, that's everything I need to know. It's important that we actually have a pipeline to all of the partners, and that basically means that anybody that's involved in the process or the sale can reach Aaron or I or both just with an email or a text message, etc., if they have a point of contact or if they have some, some information or feedback. Progress reports. Real estate markets do shift. We've been very blessed at this point that the Canadian real estate market has just been wonderful for the last 16 years, unlike our friends in the States who suffer dearly. But I think that's, it's an important situation to be aware of the fact that because we've had this great market condition, they do fluctuate, they do change, and if we know something, you need to know it too. And lastly, it's one central spot for all of the partners to be able to connect. So I'm going to actually bring Aaron and I and finish this last presentation.
I got you.
Don't ever give her the phone. We were doing good and then it happened. Okay, so we've thought a lot about, as we mentioned, we talked a lot about the each particular client experience we've had, and in some cases we've been working with clients for 24 months getting ready. And Maisie, you want to tell us a little bit about what our commitment is to help them make that point?
As Mark had mentioned, that you need to prepare for this. It may not be in 6 months, it might not be in 12, it may be in 24 months. It's something that you need to investigate, gather information now, talk to the important people in your life, get them involved. Call us as well. We have lots of resources available to help you answer any of the questions that you do have. But it is a planning process and an information gathering process. I have clients, or we have clients or friends here who have been working on their potential move, or maybe not move, seeing as how things are going, for at least 12 months. You know, cleaning the garage, doing this, doing that. So don't think that you need to be in a position to put a lawn sign on your lawn within the next 6 weeks to contact us or any of our vendors. It is a process, and often it does take quite some time.
We want to bring Mark back up, and he's going to tie up the rest of our presentation. Thank you for your time.